Here we go. Start of the 2024 season. Starts now. As you can see, we are way behind. And it's not anybody's fault but the weather. Still shrunk wrap. Tons of projects going on though. Everything from scupper covers. So when you're backing down, your feet don't get wet. We got some rod holders being made for up here. Some new electrical panels going in. We have Livewell going in here. New cover, new hatch covers for this. And yeah, still the usual buff wax, bottom paint. But of course, bad on the weather's not helping. So today, I guess I'm gonna start off with painting the engine with some barnacle paint. Paint the prop with some barnacle paint, and then maybe do some touch-up paint on the engine. You know, it's one of those things where it does rust, so you need to protect it here and there. Doesn't rust much, but you get those spots. So let's get to it and start these projects before it's too late, because we got just about a month before this boat gets splashed, so it's crunch time. Let's go. Alright, here's what we got. Gonna knock off some of the loose stuff that I painted on last year with some, there's a wire brush. Just slap it on a drill. I know it doesn't look too bad. I took a lot of it off last year at the end of the season. Gonna knock off the rest, give it a paint, on to the next project. Just gotta get moving, that's all. So I got most of, if not all of, the loose stuff knocked off of the prop and the cutlass here. You can really see it. So I'm gonna use the Seahawk barnacle blocker. It's zinc free. I'm sure some people are gonna say, oh, why not use the zinc stuff? I don't know, I guess it's just personal preference. I know Pettit makes one with zinc in it, supposedly. You know, it doesn't really matter, I don't think. This stuff's worked well for me, and it's like $20 cheaper. And then you also have the prop speed stuff. I've heard it works great. It's just really expensive and a lot of steps to I guess ultimately complete the same task. So I'm just gonna use this stuff. It's worked for me, and yeah, I mean, I definitely would recommend it. Wrapped up a full coat, front, back, on the prop, cutlass. So it calls for 2 to 3 thin coats. It's still kind of cold here. Oh, today it is at least, so I'll let it dry for a day, maybe 2. Come down this week and kind of do another 2 coats. So we're gonna leave off of this and go in and kind of touch up some areas on the engine that need some love. Go ahead, make your jokes now. Oh my God, the engine looks so bad. It does. Paint wise, the engine itself, I mean, no issues at all. I mean, I have 0 complaints about this engine. It just needs some love on the outside. The inside, it's great. So that's why I'm doing this. Gonna give it a quick wire wheel certain areas, touch it up with some primer, and then come back in with the Cummins tan paint that they have. Sadly, it is what it is. Not much I can do. But she runs great. She just needs a little, she needs some makeup. That's all. It's the best way to look at it. Just a little makeup. Still got a lot more cleaning to do, wire brushing, but got a good chunk out of it. At least making progress. Like I said, it's still cold here. The paint's taking forever to dry, so I don't want to go over it with the actual engine paint. I kind of just want to let this stuff dry the right way rather than try to go over some wet stuff. So that's it for today. Come down maybe tomorrow and finish it up, or get some more done. So like I said, this weather's killing me. As soon as the weather breaks, I can start doing more projects, get this damn top off the boat. So praying for warmer weather and not rainy weather. That's the important one. No rain. Another day back at it, under the boat. Gonna wrap this up, give us more paint, get it done, and then we will be moving into inside of the boat, trying to get the Livewell set up. Got some minor glass work, just kind of a soft spot in the glass, gonna get fixed. So without further ado, day 2. Trying to wrap up more engine paint, getting the bilge pump put in. He's getting frustrated. Yeah. But it's all part of the job. What are you gonna do? So, pump's gonna go hopefully down here where we can access it easily. We get a valve right there we don't use, so that's where we're planning on putting it. And then the engine paint, it's coming along. It'll look good with a nice little new some new paint. Just chugging along. Wrapped up the prop paint, that's all set. Only did 2 coats. 3 coats was a little excessive. 4 coats I think I did last year was way too much, and it lasted the entirety of the season. This boat was ran pretty hard for the majority of the season, so we're just gonna stick with the 2 coats and we'll go from there. So, pumps mounted. Starting on Livewell hatches. That's gonna be the new Livewell pump. And this is gonna be the Livewell. I mean, it's been dry storage for a while, so he's squaring up some hatches. These are the hatches. It's flipped, but those are the hatches. Gonna set them up so they flip up away from us. The Livewell on the transom. Finally get rid of this thing. Very good, very good. So with the tape, just helps kind of protect some of the gel coat that's around it and the paint. You don't make a mess of it. Kind of helps with chipping as well. Alright, he's got one in. Not totally in, but get it placed in. I'm gonna kind of do a little bit of glass work on the edges of where he cut, because there's some balsa wood in there, which is the worst coring in the world. But that's really the only place where balsa is on this boat, is kind of the house and everything above the rails. Kind of see it in here. It just, as soon as it gets wet, it just rots. It's cheap, it's light, that's why they used it, but it's horrible. But as you can see, this was one of the hatches, and you know, I mean, that screw was supposed to be tight. So progress, it's the name of the game lately. So as he's wrapping up the other half, scratch, I'm kind of starting actual paint on the back half of the engine. I'll make my way down the side as I get kind of not so nice workable days, but this is kind of the worst of where it was. Most of the paint that was peeling, so I already started here. I mean, looks great already. Happy. Another day back down. Still working on the live wells, cleaning them up, trying to get them ready. Trying to get a few things ready for this weekend's paint. I'll be down here Saturday painting, but still working on the live wells. Hopefully getting them done soon. So right now I'm trying to work on getting these, I don't know, they're almost like little drain cover things. You could spin them down by hand, but broke off the handle. Trying to disconnect it. So it's the next project, get these out of the way for the fish, paint this blue, really mount these covers, so do some minor glass work around here just to protect the coring balsa wood that's in here. That'll be it for that. Oh, actually, look. This one's actually seems like it's gonna break. This one's not coming as easy as there it is. In the process of running the hose to the live well. Got right here. So gotta gusset up in here. We're gonna have to drill through and then figure out how to suspend it down the side. I came up here, right down in here from the pump. I'm gonna put a hanger down in there, and then another step closer. Of course, while cutting out that gusset, while drilling a hole through the gusset to run that live well hose, we realized it's balsa wood. For those of you guys that know what it is, I'm sure you've had your issues with it, but we were hoping this was going to be solid glass gusset, and it's not. So that means we're going to have to get some Holland deck, which is like a putty with, you know, milled fiberglass in it. Mix a little up and kind of smear it around the wood just to kind of seal it, so that way we don't have to deal with it. I could use resin too. I might just do regular resin, but we'll see. Kind of leaning towards the Holland deck just because I have some on the boat right now. So, of course, another step added. Not a big step, but another step. As for the engine, wrapped up paint in the back half of the engine. Got the air filter back on, which needs to be replaced this season. Now I'll do the front half of the engine, and yeah, that's it. Ran the wire for the live well pump as well. Haven't hooked it up yet because that panel there, I am gonna get rid of all that, slap on a piece of starboard, and then put in that new switch panel I got here. Whole new switch panel, and just clean it all up. It's a lot of those switches are just old and beat up, and the salt is taking their toll on them. So that's gonna be it for today. We're kind of at that point where I don't want to do any more work. What's left now is just paint, wax, and wrap up the projects we have. Obviously finish running that. So until next time, guys, don't forget to give me a like, subscribe, and if you can, share. Appreciate it.